Hi, I'm Kerry. I run a business. My business is my portfolio. I sit down and I make a plan for my business the first of the year. I set goals. I set parameters under which we operate. And when I say we, I mean me, because I manage my portfolio. I run a business. I suggest that's what you do. And I want to tell you some of the thoughts that I put into running my business. And one of them is because some of my largest holdings are Google, Apple, and Amazon. And are they overvalued? I don't think they are. And I want to illustrate that to you so that you can understand how I'm running my business. Now, I put a plan for my business in the Discord. The Discord is where our tribe meets. This is Best of Us Investors. We have a tribe of people who run businesses called their portfolio. Their goal of their business is to create income, to create wealth. So that's what we're going to talk about today, how I'm running my business. I'm dressed as a businessman wearing a tie. I even have cufflinks today because I run a business. It's called my portfolio. Best of Us Investors.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
In January of 2020, a Japanese company by the name of Sumitomo introduced a drug that would basically help in compulsive obsessive disorder. That wasn't all that exciting, except that no one was expecting it, because this company went from the old way of finding drugs to the new way of finding drugs, and that is the use of artificial intelligence. In the old way, they would put something in a petri dish and then add a pharmaceutical to it and see what happens. And then they would keep doing that until they found what exactly stopped this obsessive compulsive disorder. But now they did it through artificial intelligence. And through artificial intelligence, they're able to make millions of comparisons of pharmaceuticals and bacteria or whatever in a matter of days, in a matter of weeks. And so it became the new way. It shocked the industry. It penetrated the industry. But the implications of that go far beyond biotech. It will change biotech. It is changing biotech through new drugs, curing of diseases, the development of CRISPR, and then went unnoticed just a couple months ago. Google's company, it's in England, DeepMind, solved the problem of AlphaFold. I did a video on this, and I'm not going to go deep into it, but the way that pharmaceuticals interact with our body is through this AlphaFold. If you master that, you then have a much more efficient way of introducing therapies and pharmaceuticals to the body. Take it at that. Who owns that? Google. That's why Google's in my portfolio, because it is a leader in artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence is going to change your world. I mean, it is going to change every aspect of your world. I've dwelled on it about CRISPR, about EDIT, about Pacific, biotech, about Illumina and genome sequencing. That's not what this video is about. You need to see those other videos to know why we own those stocks in our business plan. Again, our business plan is at our Discord. The other area that my portfolio is heavy into is electronic vehicle. Now, and autonomous vehicles. We know that Tesla is leading that field. And we know that they are manufacturing the cars, and they are developing the software, and they're developing the artificial intelligence. Well, just off to the little side of that, so is Google. So is Apple. A lot of people think through Waymo that Google will start making cars. I don't believe they will. They haven't yet. They're putting their technology and testing their technology now, from what I can determine, in Jaguars. So I suspect, as part of managing my portfolio, I want Google in my electric vehicle, autonomous vehicle portfolio. That's why Google's there. Do I think they're going to become an automaker? No, I do not. I believe that you will walk into a dealership. It may be a Ford dealership, a General Motors dealership. It may be a Jaguar dealership. I doubt it. But it will be a dealership, and the sign will say on the car, technology provided by Waymo. And you'll say, oh, that's Google. And Google will be influencing you as to what kind of car you're going to drive. Now, you'll go to another dealership and you're going to see an Apple car. Yeah, Apple has announced that they are getting into this, that you may find that when you call Uber and the autonomous automobile shows up, it's an Apple, or it may be a Waymo. That's why I own Google and Apple, because they are involved in my 3 businesses. This one is electric or autonomous automobiles. So I want Google in there because they are going to be one of the main players, right up there with Tesla, right up there with NIO or whomever else. They are going to be a major player in this autonomous automobile field. And nobody is paying any attention to it. Everybody is focused on NIO and Tesla. And off in the distance, behind curtains, Apple and Google are making their play. So that's why Apple and Google are not overvalued. They're undervalued. And this is going to happen in 2021. And I am part owner in my business of Google and Apple. Artificial intelligence. We're going to have a AI assistant. Yeah, AI assistant. What is that? That's that Alexa. That's that Hey Google or Siri. And who are those? Well, I think that's Amazon, Google, and Apple. Are they overvalued? No, they are not, because they're coming into your smart home. They have each developed their own chips to speed up the speed in which Alexa answers your questions. They're speeding it up by 25%. I didn't think she was that slow, but they're doing that. That then brings me back to a question I've been asked. I was, in fact, beat around a bit about why did you encourage us to buy NVIDIA and Linux 2 months ago, and now you sold them. If you went to my business plan at the Discord, you'll see I sold them yesterday. Why did you sell them? Because Amazon and Apple are making their own chips. When you've got all the money in the world and you look at your credit card statement at the end of the month and you say, wow, we're spending a lot of money at NVIDIA and Linux and Advanced Micro Devices. How could we cut that bill? Why don't we make our own chip? We got all the money in the world. We can cut the cost, and the price just keeps going up. Why don't we make our own chip? So that's what Amazon and Apple have done. They've made their own chip. So that's why I sold NVIDIA and Linux. Okay? And the other reason was I'm not going to get the 50% return on my money I determined as I was managing my business, my portfolio, from Linux and NVIDIA. So I want to move that money someplace where I will. Will it be to Amazon, Google, and Apple? Probably not. I have a substantial position there already. It will probably be to find something in biotech that right now costs $17 and by the end of the year is going to be $170. That's how I manage my business, my portfolio. I don't get involved in oil, and I don't get involved in marijuana, and I don't get involved in energy. I specialize in 3 areas: electric, autonomous automobiles, biotech, and 5G. Now, I haven't covered a lot here in 5G, but understand what 5G is. 5G is the Internet of everything. That's going to be your smart home. That's going to be the smart factory. That's going to be the smart elevators. And that's going to generate data. Well, who owns the data? Who controls the data? When you do something on your phone through an app, where does that data go? It goes to Amazon Web Services, Microsoft's Web Services, Google, or Apple. So they're going to be the benefactors of 5G. No, they're not going to build it out. They're not Qualcomm. They're not AT&T. They're not Spectrum. I don't want anything to do with them. I want the people who are going to be the benefactors, not the builders, the benefactors of 5G, the ones who are going to get the monthly check once it's done. They're already getting the 4G check. And if you haven't figured that out, when you get on your phone, somebody gets paid. And for the most part, it's Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft. Okay? So 5G is just going to increase the amount of their check. So that's how I manage my business. The other element that's coming into my business right now is government relief. We've had $3 trillion. Is it 3? It's close to 7. Our debt has gone from 20 trillion in the start of 2020 to almost 27 trillion. $7 trillion came into this economy in the last, 8-9 months? And they're talking about, they're arguing right now whether to send me a $600 check or a $2,000 check. And I think shortly after January the 20th, there'll be even more checks. That money has to go someplace. I know it comes to me, but it trickles through my fingers because I take it and I invest it. And some of you, it goes to the grocery store, it goes to the car payment, to the house payment, but it keeps trickling down until it ends up in the stock market. Now look at the charts of the stocks from from March the 25th through today and see where it went. Well, that's where it's going to go again because it's going to come. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in 2021 or 2022, but I know what's going to happen in 2021. My Google, my Apple, my Tesla, my Microsoft, my CRISPR, my portfolio. If you want to see my portfolio, go to bestofusinvestors.com. Give me your email address and your name, and I'll send you a letter, and it'll explain to you how to go to the Discord, and in that Discord, how you can access my portfolio, my daily trades. You would have seen yesterday that I sold some NVIDIA, some Excellent. I sold some Facebook. I'll explain to you later why I sold the Facebook. But that's how I manage my portfolio. It's a business. The business is scheduled to make me just under $500,000 this year. So I manage it. I have a goal. I specialize in 3 areas, and I have a goal, and I manage to achieve that goal on a daily basis. Okay? That's how I run my business. I won't always dress up like this for you. I'll go back to my black t-shirt. But that's what Best of Us Investors is. 3 goals. What's number 1? Come on, you know it. Make good investment decisions. Number 2, keep more of what you make by understanding the tax code. Number 3, build family wealth. And our goal right now is $24 million. Why $24 million? Because that's what the federal government will allow Nita and I to pass on to our heirs estate tax-free. Anything over that, we start paying somewhere around 50% estate tax. So we'll spend anything over $25 million. I guarantee that, okay? So, foolishly, we'll spend it foolishly. Okay, that's best of us investors. As I've alluded to, we have a Discord. It's where I'll share more. We have a letter that I send out probably once a week. I give you some insights. In fact, you'll get even more detail on what I just talked about in my morning insight. It's a blog that I put together, and it'll give you the details that I just discussed here. So I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow, but I'll come up with something, because you need to look at your portfolio as another source of income and as a business, and manage it like a business, and become the smartest guy in your business, the business you choose to be in.